Okay, so I was just sitting in a group chat, conversing with some friends, talking to some colleagues and whatnot, and I was just reflecting, and I have a thought that may be an unpopular opinion, it may be controversial, but it's my feeling and I'm running with it. I think that Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is the most iconic franchise we've ever gotten from Bravo. I genuinely feel this way. And I'm getting ready to try to justify this because I know it sounds crazy. But just hear me out.
I don't do regrets. I'm trying to learn from my lessons, but do I get it yet? I wanna set an example, but I'm not sure I done handle all my demons. I'm thinking that I should court a vet. I fight for all respect. I'm working overtime to keep in my head. I understand I'll get the love when I'm dead, so my focus is red. Choose the black out on what's keeping me chosen. I've been the token, now the back is ahead. On my soapbox, just...
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Georgia, Carolina, your gated and racism-free community where we personalize culture and entertainment and then have a conversation that's based on self-discovery and growth. I am your pop culture curator of all things inclusion and entertainment, Jordan Renee, and I'm happy to have you guys back for another video. Okay, so I know I just said something that probably sounds crazy to you guys, but I'm dead ass. Hear me out. I think that, sorry, I'm fixing my wig. I snatched it off last night because I wasn't feeling good and I got really hot and overheated and I thought I was dying. So I just snatched my whole wig off, and when I got up this morning, I didn't glue it back down. So if my lace is clockable or it's looking a little funny, that's why. Don't judge me. Okay. I genuinely believe that Salt Lake City is the most iconic franchise that we've gotten from Bravo. Let me tell you why. Do you guys realize in 2, now going into 3 seasons, we have had some of the most scandalous of scandalous housewives, like back to back to back? I was talking in a group chat that I was in, and we were talking about Salt Lake City because there's like some articles coming out and tea being spilled and blah, 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 blah. As the Twitterverse does. And I was saying in the group chat, I was basically saying, like, what I want to see from this season of Salt Lake City is I want to watch Jennie get fired on camera. I legitimately want to watch her get fired off camera because remember, in Bravo's statement, they said that they have decided to cease filming, which means pause and stop. Do not pick up. Cut here. Do not collect $300. Go straight to the house. Do you get what I mean? So she was filming season 3 when all of this broke out, when all of this was going down. She was still on camera. So I want to know, like, there's no way that they're just gonna stop filming with her and none of the housewives are ever gonna bring her up again. Like, she's just not gonna be mentioned. She's just gonna be in one scene one day, and in the next episode, she's wiped away like the little girl from Family Matters. They are not gonna let that happen. Especially with Jennifer Shaw still, to this day, dragging that girl all across the internet. Deservedly so. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying that she should stop. I'm just saying that it's funny. But I'm just like, I do not see a world where the fans are season by season telling them to remove the fourth wall. Like, literally, the Bravo fandom is picking at that fourth wall brick by brick with every episode of every franchise. Like, y'all need to cut the shit at this point. But I just don't see a world where they just stop filming with Jennie and she's just never brought up again. We just never see her again and she's gone. Her specifically, not just a housewife. Because I could see that happening with girls where, like, they were testing or whatever and then they get snatched up and we never see them again. I think that Nicole left in the middle of the season and she's never brought up again. And Orange County. But what I'm saying is there's no way with her causing as much scandal as she caused and her just being gone and no one talking about it. Do you get what I mean? But the reason why I say that this franchise is so iconic is because in season 1, we got the the religious cult leader who married her grandfather for an empire, basically. In season 2, we got the cast member who was almost arrested on camera for defrauding elderly people. And now in season 3, there's a possibility that we could watch a housewife get fired on camera for being racist. And not just being racist, being a racist. Girl, this is iconic. Like, this is like, you can't write this shit. I'm sorry. Like, in 3 seasons, they have had this much scandal. You can't write this shit. It's amazing. And I just... Usually it takes a few seasons for people to have their breakout moments. Because I was sitting here thinking this through when I was in the group chat. I was like, you know, every Housewives franchise has to have their breakout moment where like they all of a sudden become like a great franchise and we start believing in them. You know, with Housewives of Potomac, it was season 4 when the main Housewives fandom really started paying attention to them, right? Like, for some reason, people weren't really on Housewives of Potomac until season 4. I don't understand that, but then season 5, it just shot into the stratosphere. Albeit because of a physical fight, which I hate, but it's getting the job done. Because they've been deserved that spotlight. Now, I say all of that to say, usually it takes a while for us to warm up to a new franchise, right? But the fact that in the first season, they had the woman who married her grandfather, and in season 2, that same woman is alleged to be a cult leader who believes she's God, or her congregation believes she's God, who quit the show partially because of her church, but in my personal opinion, it's my opinion, that she didn't want to also own up to her being one of the first Black women that we've been able to hold to the fire for actually being racist. I'm just saying. And also in season 2, we have Jennifer Shaw, who is basically running a whole Ponzi scheme. Like, girl, like, and now we have the racist woman of color. Like, what franchise of Housewives did you ever expect to have 2 racially insensitive and 1 blatantly racist women of color on the franchise? Usually, we may get 1, maybe 2 racially insensitive white women. But on Salt Lake City, we got 2 women of color that were racially insensitive, one of which was blatantly a racist. I'm sorry. If y'all don't believe that this is the most iconic Housewives franchise, now mind you, it may be for a lot of negative reasons. Because as I'm sitting here getting this out, I'm realizing all of this shit is extremely fucking negative. But the Housewives fandom lives and breathes on negativity. Y'all live for this shit. Y'all literally live for this shit. The only reason that Beverly Hills was #1 in the ratings while Kyle Richards was sitting here bragging about that on Ultimate Girls Trip was because of Erica's case. It's not like y'all were just having that much personal drama within the franchise or it was just that good of a show. No. The reason why y'all were #1 in the franchise was because y'all were just like us sitting around watching the Erica Jane show. So don't get cocky. But it is so, Bravo kind of knocked it out of the park with Salt Lake City. Legitimately knocked it out of the park with Salt Lake City. I'm gonna say right now that Salt Lake City and Miami are becoming my favorite franchises because this season of Miami has been incredible. And it's because each woman on that show has a storyline that one has nothing to do with the group, but somehow finds its way intertwining with the group storyline. Miami is one of the only franchises that everyone has a personal storyline and there's an overarching group storyline. We don't see that very often. That is happening in Salt Lake City too. Because I can say this season of Salt Lake City, just about every woman on the show had their own personal storyline that I was willing to invest in. Just about.
What's going on, y'all? This is Editing Jordan, and I don't know what that popping sound is. I don't know if you can hear that in my video or if it's just me in the editing bay, but there is a popping that I keep hearing in my video that is so frustrating. I tried to cover it up one time and make it look like I did it on purpose, but I just heard it twice, and I don't understand what that is. So, if you guys can't hear this, don't worry about it. I'm just crazy. But if you do hear it, I'm sorry, because that's not intentional. Okay, back to the video.
I would have to think deeper about that to make sure. But most of the women had a personal storyline that I was willing to invest in. Like Heather Gay, I was willing to invest in her storyline with her girls. I'm not even willing to go. Well, let's go ahead and go into it since the whole video is about Salt Lake City. Meredith, I really wanted to I wanted to see her conversing with the personal investigator or with the cyber investigator. She keeps trying to clear that up like it makes it any better. She keeps trying to clear up this cyber investigator versus personal investigator or private investigator like it's supposed to make any difference. Like if you say cyber investigator to Jennifer Shaw, that is going to make it any different. Jennifer Shaw's storyline with the whole getting arrested on camera. Okay, well, with her indictment, I keep making it about her getting arrested on camera. Why do I want to see that? I'm so morbid. Anyway, I think she had a storyline with or without this indictment because I really wanted to see more of her trying to fix her relationship with her son and her family. If you remember one of the last videos that I did recapping an episode, I was talking about how the way that she's moving is impacting her son. Please go back and watch that video because I include clips of the show of her son and his reactions that I don't think that she's paying attention to. And she's saying that they're on a better path now and that they're getting along and they're happier than they've ever been. But that's also from the woman who also caused all of this. So I think any improvement, she's gonna be like, oh, we're amazing. Do you get what I mean? So I would really have to see her interactions with her son to really see if they're really on a better path. Like I would have to hear Omar talk. With Lisa Barlow, her whole personal storyline, I don't know what the fuck they got going on, to be perfectly honest. Whitney, I want to see everything going on with Wild Rose Beauty, to be perfectly honest. I want to see her decide if she's gonna look for her dad or not. Because I think she said at the beginning of the season that her hands were washed with that situation. So I would love to see her like check in on her dad every now and again, but not like actively pursue him. But I do want to see how she's figuring this whole thing out with Wild Rose Beauty, because I wanted to see more of that with Wendy Osefo's storyline in Potomac of like, girl, you don't know a damn thing about business, but you're trying to start one. Like, I want to see how that's supposed to work, and you expect your husband to just drop coin on this. Okay. Mary Cosby, I mean, she has a lot going on just regardless. Like, I want to see, like I was saying in one of my old recaps, I want to see a more intimate look at her and Robert Sr. I want to see a more intimate look at Robert Jr.'s awareness of the situation that he's born into. I want to know if Robert Jr. knows the whole backstory of his mother and his father. I want to know if he knows that that was his mother's grandfather by marriage. I want to know if her son watches the show, personally, because I would love to know how that level of awareness affects a child. I would hope that before she carried her ass on camera, that she had a conversation with her son. I can't even say the words come to an understanding, but I would hope that she brought her son at least in the same book, because just like I can't say come to an understanding, I don't know if I can say on the same page either. So, but I want to look more into their relationship, the mother and the father, and the mother and the son, and I want to see if he knew this before she went on TV, and I want to know how that awareness, how that dynamic affects her or him and his father. Like, I want to know what the relationship is like between Robert Sr. and Robert Jr. I just think that Mary Cosby's family has a whole lot of dynamic, and there's a whole lot of storyline there. As far as, who else are we talking about? Jennie Nguyen. I mean, she had a lot of storyline, but her being a racist kind of just ruined all of that for me. So now I don't give a damn what happens with her and Dewey. I don't give a damn if he goes out and finds a sister wife. I don't give a damn if they stay married or not. I don't give a fuck what happens, excuse me, to Jennie Nguyen. She had a lot of storyline. To me, she brought a lot to the show, and that was an unpopular opinion. So there's nothing to talk about when it comes to her anyway, because outside of her being racist, the fans wanted her off the show any goddamn way. So next, who else? I think I already talked about Meredith. Yeah, I think that's it. But there's a lot of storylines within the women, but their interactions with each other are so, I don't know. I just think that this franchise has so much potential. This franchise has so much potential, and I hope that, one, they never get rid of Heather Gay. I'm sorry, I'm a Heather Gay stan. I'm a Heather Gay stan. I am. And I usually don't stan Housewives. I really rarely ever stan Housewives. But I'm a Heather Gay stan. Now, mind you, there's only a certain level to my stanism, because there's no amount of stanism that's going to make me defend her dress at the damn reunion. So, it is what it is. Like, the dress was and it's not even that the dress was terrible. It just looked cheap. It just literally looked cheap. Because that applique on the side looked like you got something from the arts and crafts store. Like that little applique on the side with the little sequin flower on the side. It looked like you went and got that from Hobby Lobby and just tacked it on the side of your dress. The hem of that garment was awful. The hem of that garment was awful. Awful. Awful, awful. But this ain't about the fashions. Either way, I genuinely believe that Salt Lake City is going to be the standout franchise for Real Housewives. And I hope that this video kind of gave you an idea into my thinking and why I feel that way. Because look at what they've provided us so far. Look at what they've provided us so far. Like, even in the smaller things, like Meredith going to get a private cyber investigator to look into all the women, and the cyber investigator coming back and saying that he's 90% sure that the threats to her family were coming from Jennifer Shaw, the same woman who got indicted and almost arrested on camera. And even on top of that, she is not willing to offer any receipts to back that up. She states that so matter-of-factly and refuses to offer any receipts as to why that makes sense or why we're supposed to go with that. I'm confused. Like, what is the correlation between Jennifer Shaw liking tweets about Brooks's sexuality and her being linked to threats made against your family? I need to know, because that's a big accusation on top of this woman already being under a federal indictment. That's a big accusation. And especially with her holding on to it for an entire season. And we think that, and people are thinking that Jennifer Shaw might have fucked the same dude that Meredith was fucking on a break with Seth. This show is iconic. Oh my God. I forgot about that. For 2 seconds, I forgot about that. Not only is the cyber investigator, which I've never heard of until this show, 90% sure that the threats against her family were coming from Jennifer Shaw, but it's also a rumor that Meredith did not confirm nor deny that Jen was fucking the same dude that she was with on her break from Seth. This is fucking iconic. I'm sorry. I am in love with Salt Lake City. The drama. Like, Chef's Kiss. Where is Angie Harrington? Where is Angie Harrington? Did I miss something? Because literally Angie Harrington just disappeared. This is what I mean by saying that this can happen. Where like a housewife can just disappear and we never talk about them again. Angie Harrington is one, because it really feels like she just disappeared and we never saw her again. I don't know what happened to her. Wow. Do y'all get it now? Like, do y'all get what I mean by like, this is just 2 seasons. All of this has happened in 2 seasons. I didn't even think I had this much of a video. Like, I kept thinking about stuff that was happening while I'm recording this right now. That's so crazy. How many more of Whitney and Heather's cousins are gonna come out on this show, stir up drama, and disappear? How many more people are gonna come on this show and throw away a 20-year friendship for a possible storyline that doesn't even materialize? How many more franchises are we gonna say have a cult leader who married their grandfather by marriage, who is also on a show with a scammer and a racist? And what franchise do you know is gonna have 2 racist women on there who are both women of color? I'm gagged. I'm gagged. I'm gagged. Now, mind you, I'm getting ready to close with this because I don't want to say all of that to make it seem like I'm all cool with Bravo right now. I say all of that to say, Bravo, I'm still on y'all ass. Because without these ladies, y'all wouldn't have a good show. So really, Bravo ain't did shit. But without these ladies, with the exception of Mary Cosby and Jennie Nguyen, because we would have had a good show without Mary Cosby. Y'all remember the whole first season, she was in her closet. And she wasn't even supposed to be a housewife first season. She was supposed to be a friend of. And so that's why we got all the footage of Mary Cosby in her damn closet. But she turned it. Now, mind you, this show can still be great without her or Jennie. So I'm not even gonna like make it seem like we need them, because we damn sure don't. Not even Mary Cosby. But Bravo, I'm still on y'all ass. Because while this show is iconic, these racist ass moments that y'all tried to slide by us are huge problems. And it just seems like another week, another racist gets called out at Bravo. Like, what is going on down to y'all network? Legitimately, like, what is going on down to the Bravo? Because it seems like y'all keep blaming the casts of these shows, and no one is blaming the production companies, the casting directors who are hiring these people. Nobody's talking about the inner workings. Like, why is it always the cast members? Excuse me. Somebody gotta hire these cast members. Somebody gotta find these cast members. Somebody has to put them on camera. Somebody has to validate that. That doesn't come from the women. That comes from inside. That comes from the network. That comes from the production company. So you would think that if a network keeps getting racist cast members on their television shows, that eventually we would stop blaming the cast members and the television shows and start blaming the production companies and the networks that keeps airing this bullshit. I'm just saying, because even if you do find out that a housewife or a cast member of one of your reality shows is racist or does racist shit, because it's not like it's just Housewives. It's happened on Below Deck. It's happened on Vanderpump Rules. It's happened on all types of shows across Bravo. So, mind you, while we can appreciate you removing and firing a cast member and saying that it's because of racially insensitive or racist behavior, you don't have to air the footage. Like, you can do your job without having to trigger the people that you're trying to appease or make the situation right for. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, anyway, y'all got a lot of damn work to do. And with that being said, going into casting for this new season, your vetting system for Salt Lake City better be more extensive than any show y'all have ever casted in your life. Mind you, all of your shows need to have this exact same rigorous casting system as far as vetting is concerned. Like, I don't understand how you can go and apply for a job at Walmart and they will check your social media, but you're on a national television show representing a multi-million-dollar business and they don't vet all of the things that they can vet about you. Like, there's only so much that they can do to vet your criminal history, but come on, they can look up your fucking social media. I'm just saying. So going into casting for this next season and every show that y'all have from now on, but especially Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, if you bring another racist on your motherfucking show, I guess we'll just have to watch that video, won't we? Stay tuned. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you guys coming and or coming back for another video here in Georgia, Carolina. I am your pop culture coordinator for all things inclusion and awareness, Jordan Renee, and I appreciate you guys being here. If you like the video, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, do all of the things, and I'll holler at y'all in the next one. Y'all know I'll be back. Peace. What was that? I sound like I've been drinking. Oh my gosh.